Hi everyone. So I'm just going to do loads of these thought videos because I think it's something it brings something positive rather than talking about all the negatives. Because I think negativity can get a little bit too much sometimes, especially with all the evil that's going on and all the deception. Um, but everything I say is a lot of it is obviously based on theory and and just some interesting perspectives. Really, not actually meaning the right or wrong, just a perspective. And it makes me think sometimes what's right and what is wrong, what's evil, what's good, right? What's evil, what's good, uh, because we're brought up to believe our morals and everything, right? Or most of us are, some of us aren't, but we're all brought up differently and we all believe different things. For example, some people believe that the Kabbalistic beliefs are good, others think it's evil. Which is which. Personally, I think it's evil. That's just my perspective on it, my opinion. But everyone's welcome to their own different opinions. So anyway, moving on is here. I've thought about fire and water, right? And not many people really talk about water and fire. And when what fire, right? When we think of fire, you think of hell, right? You think of evil. It's warm. We have fireplaces. People have fire in their homes. When it's contained, it's okay, but it also is harmful. But on the opposite side, we have water, and obviously, when I'm gonna tell you something interesting now about water. So I'm just going to talk to you about the molecule structure of water. So I'll just obviously the fire and the water. I'll go back to the image that I'll look at. So there's a Japanese businessman called Masaru Emoto. I don't know how to pronounce his name particularly. I don't know if I've pronounced it right, but it's a Japanese businessman. Whether you want to trust him because he's a businessman or not is up to you. Author and a pseudoscientist who claims that human consciousness could affect the molecule structure of water. So water's H2O, obviously. H is obviously eights. Eight could mean infinity with the two zeros together. And his idea is that basically human consciousness and certain vibrations and music can affect the molecules in the water. And if you expose the water to evil or nasty sounds, it will the molecules will not look as pretty to when they're exposed to nice sounds and good messages and good wills, and the molecules crystallize and it becomes clearer. And he thinks that you can my mind's gone blank, change the water. So by bringing it good messages, what he's done is he's put water in different jars. He's written bad on one, good on the other, and he's exposed the bad one to scream music, and he writes bad messages on that water. And then the other water, he blesses it. He writes good messages on it. He exposes it to calm music frequencies, and he's come up to the conclusion with his work that when he put them together, the water with all the good messages was more clear, more pure than the water with all the bad messages, and the water with the bad messages was very unpure, and it was it was darker than the water that he read the good messages on. See if we can find it. Emoto said that water was a blueprint for our reality and that emotional energies and vibrations could change its physical structure. His water crystals experiments consisted of exposing water in glass to various words, pictures of music, and then freezing it. So listen to this. This is interesting. Isn't it? So his water crystal experiment consists of exposing water glasses to various words, pictures, and music, then freezing it, and then examining the ice crystals' aesthetic properties with microscopic photography. So he used microscopic photography. He claimed that water exposed to positive speech and thoughts created visually pleasing ice crystals, and that negative intentions yielded ugly ice formations. So it's saying there, look, so the ones with the bad messages formed ugly ice formations. The one where he put the good messages and goodwills on, he came to the conclusion it came up with the pleasing ice crystals. Interesting, something to actually try out. I might do it when I get the what's the word I'm looking for? My mind goes blank, especially late at night. But when I not the ability to do it, but when I'm not, when I can be bothered. But I'll probably just keep procrastinating, right? See, I thought that was quite interesting. Something to try. So going back to Water and Fire, without looking at information, and information's good, but it's good to have your own perspective and thoughts on things, and it's very good to think things for yourself rather than getting information. Yes, receive information and you decide what you do with it. Some people, obviously, the way the world works, the way they want it to work is we give you the information, you think that information, you receive that information, and that's it, right? You're not allowed to interpret that information in loads of different ways. It's like in the Bible. People interpret the Bible in loads of different ways, don't they? But as we know, going back to Water and Fire, so you got the fire. The fire destroys everything in its way, right? And pretty much everything except from water. So fire we associate with evil, devil, hell, the hellfire, and it's hot. You can't touch it because if you touch it, it hurts you. It burns you, and it burns and hurts anything in its way. It destroys things. That's what fire does. It spreads and destroys things and anything in its way. And eventually it does burn out. But the one thing that can destroy the fire is water. So when I think of water now, I think that I'm going to actually start doing more research into this. This is just like a kind of introduction to what I might look into in the future, because I don't know much about it, but I'm going to look into it and I'm going to come up with my own perspective on it. And you might have your own perspective on it, a different perspective to what I have, and that's okay, right? We need to all accept each other's perspectives and opinions, because obviously our journeys are very different. No one has the same journey, and it seems to me that the powers that be want to make us feel like we're on the same journey, right? We all have to think the same